day, my brother and I were walking to a liquor. To get there, we had to go through an alley. So we're walking through the alley, and then randomly someone throws a rock at us. Like, obviously, we turned around, like, literally no fucking cap. We turn around and we see a clown looking at us with a hammer in his hand. I thought it was my mom pranking me, so I remember I looked at the clown and I was like, "You're so funny, take off the mask." My brother was like, "Sam, stop, like, actually, this is a real clown." I remember I looked at the clown and then the clown's like, "You have 5 seconds to run. Don't even try yelling, no one's gonna hear you." We flew. This is the best part. So my brother and I, we start sprinting because we want to get somewhere where people are. And the clown starts chasing us. So I remember the clown chased us into this like vacant house. My brother and I didn't know what to do. So we go into the house and then we start hiding, whatever. Tried calling the cops, fucking reception. And guess whose house it was? Guess who met up at this house? So as the clown started chasing my brother and I into the vacant house, we hid in a closet behind a pile of clothes. So then shortly we start hearing the clown's footsteps in the house. He couldn't find us, whatever. My brother and I were still stuck in the house though. We couldn't call anyone, nothing was going through. So we end up getting bored and we're looking at the pile of clothes that we're hiding behind. Guess what? The pile of clothes we were hiding behind were different clown suits. So funny. So we realized, oh shit, this is the clown's house, so cool. At this point, it's like 2 a.m. So I'm assuming my parents got worried because we didn't come home. So obviously they called the cops and a whole ass search was being made for my brother and I. Long story short, they found us. The clown was taken. It was a teenager under the mask. I don't know what happened to the house. I'm not really allowed to walk there anymore. So.
Okay, story time. So I work at a jewelry store, and today a man came in looking for a gift for his wife for their 10th year anniversary. He ended up picking out a piece that said, "My beautiful wife." And I said, "Anything else for you today?" And he said, "No, that's it for her, but I do want to make another purchase using a separate credit card. And could you possibly create a different account for me?" And I said, "Sure, what are you looking for?" And he said, "Do you have anything that says girlfriend?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it. And do you have anything that says happy 1 year anniversary to go with it?" And I said, "Yes." And he said, "Perfect, I'll take it." So I boxed everything up all nice and I put them in their respected bags. He had me mark a K for Kristen on the bottom of his wife's bag and an L for Laura on the bottom of his girlfriend's bag. I put pretty bows on them. I handed it to him. I said, "They're gonna love it. Have a nice day." And he said, "Thank you." And I just remembered that his wife's name is Laura and his girlfriend's name is Kristen. I must have mixed up the bags. Oops.
I got hit by a car at work. Story time. So 2 weeks ago, I was at work, obviously, and I was getting trained. But they were training me in a different building. This building just so happened to be behind a grocery store. And during my lunch, I walked over to the grocery store to get a fork. To get to the store, I had to walk through the parking lot, just like you do for any store. As I was walking through the parking lot, I walked behind this parked car. I didn't realize that they were trying to back up, but they were. And then they backed up into me. It was honestly just a little tap, but it still hurted. So it was a young girl, and after she slightly taps me, she comes out of her car, hysterical, freaking out like, "Oh my God, are you okay? Like, do you have to go to the hospital? I'm so sorry." She was freaking out more than I was. To make her feel a little bit better, I was trying to joke around with her, and I was like, "Girl, I'm okay, I'm alive, you didn't finish the job." After I said that, it just made the situation worse. She just stared at me like I was crazy and said, "You need help." And I was like, "Girl, I'm trying to make you feel better for hitting me. Like, actually, you know what? My neck actually hurts. I might just sue. Make her pockets hurt."
Story time of how my mom kicked me out at age 15 because she found out I was dating a mixed boy. So basically, my mom wasn't strict at all and she let me do almost anything that I wanted. But when it came to dating, it was a whole different story. I mean, she let me start dating at 12 years old, but every single time I told her I had a boyfriend, the first thing that she would say is, "He better be white." And she'd always say, "If it ain't white, it ain't right." Mind you, my preference was mixed and dark-skinned boys. So of course, I'm going to go after to what I'm attracted to. And at 14, I started dating this kid and I asked my mom if I could invite my boyfriend to my birthday. We weren't really doing anything big. It was kind of just like a family party with a couple friends. And she said yes. Mind you, she had never met him or seen a picture of him, so she was kind of excited to meet him. So my birthday comes around and he gets there. And as soon as he walked into the door, I gave him a big hug, and my mom turned around and gave me the most evil look ever. She pulled me aside, and her exact words were, "Is this a joke?" And she literally said, "I trusted you enough to not bring this kind of hood in our house." Part 2 of how my mom kicked me out at age 15 because she found out I was dating a mixed boy. Continuing with the story, after the party, I had asked him to stay for like an hour or two later. And afterwards, my mom was just being completely rude the entire time towards him. And right in front of him, she screamed at me and said, "I don't want this type of black trash in my house. Please get it out." Mind you, I hate disrespecting my mom and I never talk back to her, but I yelled back at her and said that was the most disrespectful thing she could have ever said. And while all this is happening, he looks like he's about to bust into tears. Like, I genuinely know this kid had a soft spot for me. So I apologize and I tell him I think it's best for him to leave. And afterwards he FaceTimes me and he tells me that he will do anything to be able to keep me. And after he leaves, my mom tells me that I'm a big disgrace to the family and she doesn't want me living there no more. All over me bringing a mixed guy to the house. I'm now 19 and I'm still with him. And I really haven't talked to my mom since. But that day she kicked me out and I had to go stay with his family. She still wants nothing to do with me because I'm still with a mixed guy. Mom, if you're listening to this, you're a racist